Now, Labour Federation COSATU is expected to hold a media briefing at its headquarters in Johannesburg today. That meeting is set to communicate the outcomes of its ordinary Central Executive Committee. COSATU is also expected to reflect on the results of the recently held general elections and the formation of this government of national unity. Watching developments for us is our economics reporter, Katlego, Legodi, live to us now from Braamfontein. We know that the ANC, of course, Katlego, is competing with all manner of interests when it comes to trying to put together this GNU. One has to wonder what COSATU will say about this.
Yeah, a very good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our viewers at home. A tough balancing act, you can imagine, for President Cyril Ramaphosa in deciding then as to who occupies those positions within cabinet. We know very well that the workers have been watching this particular process, just looking to ensure that their interests as well and their voices are really not really falling on deaf ears, but they're taken into consideration looking at where we find ourselves now. So this is the Central Executive Committee meeting that sits 4 times in a year, this particular one being the second one for this year, coming through at a time, Ayanda, when we've seen a lot happening within the political space, and the workers would really like to see this particular processes then more or less moving to cushion them and ensure that the gains that they've managed to really amass over the years are not lost through this government of national unity. We know very well that this particular Central Executive meeting of COSATU discussed political issues taking place in the country as we speak right now. There are organizational issues that also came under the spotlight, looking at everything else that has been happening here at this venue. And also, they talked about the socio-economic issues affecting the workers. You know very well, Ayanda, that COSATU is one federation, the leading federation accommodating over 1 million of workers in the country right now. And most of those workers have been looking at this particular CEC as to really chart their way forward, bring them and elevate their voices in terms of where they would like to stand or see, or what they'd like to see happening in the coming days, looking at the political climate in the country right now. We know very well that as well, Ayanda, at this Central Executive Committee meeting, Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of COSATU, of the ANC, that is, was here on the second day of the CEC, just more or less giving them somewhat of a feedback in terms of the conversations that the party has been having with other political parties after making the decision, Ayanda, that they're now going to be rallying behind this government of national unity. So 3 weeks back, I spoke to COSATU, the Secretary General of COSATU, this being Swali Petwa. This was at the NUM's policy conference, and they were still leading up to really how then the country is going to shape in terms of the elections that we've held. And we've had them just talking about how they are worried about really the posture of some political parties, one of them being the Democratic Alliance, looking at their policies and their approaches to workers' issues over time, even going to an extent, Ayanda, of saying that they would not want the ANC to work with the Democratic Alliance. But we find ourselves here in terms of this government of national unity, and we see them through this 3-day CEC, just more or less charting the way forward in terms of how then things are going to fare for the workers. Also, a key looking at the economy and those portfolios that would be accommodative of the workers, looking at their plight and their struggle over time. Ayanda?
Yeah, we're expecting that media briefing to begin at 11 o'clock. Absolutely no doubt we'll take it live here on the SABC. But for now, Katlego, Legodi, thanks very much indeed. Katlego's live to us there from Braamfontein in Johannesburg.